Alrighty, so this is Decent We the People News, y'all. So, just kind of doing studies and research. And once again, curiosity is killing the cat, right? Now, I put two and two together, right? Supreme Courts, they have lifetime appointments, okay? Before I get started any further than that, right? I'm not an attorney, I'm not giving legal advice, okay? Just my opinion, educational purposes only, okay? And I just never look straight forward. I always look around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. Okay? Again, I'm not an attorney. So do your own research. Now, this is Texas, no other states. However, I was thinking in my mind one day, the Supreme Court has lifetime appointment and federal judges as well. However, we keep believing that. But they can be impeached. You know, our Congress has to go through there and impeach them like they tried to do with Trump. The exact same process, right? And then if they get enough evidence and it goes to the Senate, then the Senate decides whether they're going to still be a judge or not a judge, or a president, not a president. Okay? So I am sleepy, and I didn't get my glasses on and my computer the way it's sitting right now. It's hard for me to see because my glasses is blurry. One is too far away, and it's my bifocals. One is, anyway, it's that third sight that tricks me up sometimes. So anything I have a hard time kind of seeing, I'll try to spell it out. Maybe you guys can understand it, okay? Now, going back into the state of Texas only, right? But every state has this, okay? So you may have to look up your articles, okay? When I say article, it would be the Constitution. Now, this is my dilemma, okay? Let's see here. Okay, state of Texas, impeachment. Impeached by the House of Representatives. The power to impeach shall be visited in the House of Representatives, right? Let's see. And trial of impeachment of Clartain office by Senate. Okay, we just talked about that. Representative does investigations, they decide to press forward, it goes to the Senate. Exact same process here in Texas. Okay, now this is section 2. Okay, impeachment of the governor. Governor can be impeached. President can be impeached. Legislature, governor. Okay. Attorney General. Okay. Attorney General, U.S. Constitution. Attorney General of the state of Texas can be impeached. Commissioner of the General Land Office. Right. I did not know that. However, they had to have somebody being the boss. So, it's good to know that, right? They're the ones telling you got to pay property tax on your private property, and it's called real property. Now, that being said, they passed the buck down, right? They got to shift all this around. You got to jerk them around a little bit. So, but the attorneys in your county is the one that actually names it real property. I'm led to believe, okay? And I believe it to be true, okay? However, do your own research because I'm still studying, okay? Then it goes into the controller and the judge, okay? Of the Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, and District Court shall be tried by the Senate. Okay, now, there's little trickeries right here, okay? And this is what I was going to get at. All right, now, number one, when they say the Supreme Court is going to be your state Supreme Court. So every time you look up your state, it's going to be the state Supreme Court and your state appeal and your state district courts, okay? Shall be tried by a Senate. Okay. The issue I have right now, right? Where's the magistrate? Where's he at? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, he's not on there. All right, so doing further research, we'll skip a couple other things because you guys can look up this information for yourself, or I can slowly go up and you can kind of pause it and do your own research, especially for the people here in Texas. Okay, now this section 2 does not apply to magistrates, believe it or not. Okay, your local judges, your judges for traffic tickets, your land taxes, and all that. Okay, it does not apply on section 2. Well, all right, then you can make a judicial complaint just like all these other judges, but they're going to throw it in the trash and all that kind of crap. You know how that goes, right? This is what we need to start doing, people. You can file in there, keep your paperwork, show that you filed, and when they deny it, guess what you do? You go to the representatives, your state representatives, and say, hey, I want these people impeached. Okay? But how do you do it since the magistrate judge is not on there? Well, this is my little loophole I found in Texas, right? Let's see here. I'm going the wrong way. All right. This is number 3 for Texas. Okay. Number 4. All right, I'm going to be looking for section 7. That's the first page. All right, any additional information, always hit the blue. Okay, look here. Okay, but we're not going to do that just yet. All right, and again, I'm hearsay, so you do your own investigation work. Okay, I'm not an attorney, so I'm not giving legal advice. This is educational purposes only. Okay, I'm just learning as well as you guys are. Okay, so we do keep going down. And this is going to be my little loophole here. Okay, we'll pause right there for you guys to read that. If you could read it. Of course, my phone's not very inclined. That's page 2. Okay. Finish that off on 3rd page. Okay. This is where I'm at, right? Okay. Removal officers when made not proven in the Constitution. Right? Now, we go back into, did you see the magistrate on section 2 with the other judges or the governor, so on, so on. Okay? Well, this is where section 7 comes in. Right? Removal of officers when made not provided in the Constitution. Okay? The legislature shall provide by law for the trial of removal from office of all officers of the state. Okay, this case would be state of Texas. The modes for reach have not been provided in the Constitution. Now, you got to use this for the magistrates. Okay? Because the Constitution, at the time with this Constitution, the state Constitution, 1876, there was no such thing as magistrates. They came on later in life, right? The courts developed this little concept that we're going to settle in-house business to leave you guys open to do other businesses where you're not so congested, right? But what they're really saying is that we're going to use the lower courts and trick the people to believe they're a corporation. And this goes by to what? Bylaws, your local bylaws. Okay, that does not apply to you. Okay, your state taxes, your property taxes. All right, so the magistrate has to attend. We talked about this in other videos. McDonald's. Okay, if an officer gets in fight with another officer, all right, the magistrate deals with that situation. Okay. So technically, when it's a civil rule procedure that you to take you directly to the magistrate. You heard me talk about that before, right? Before going to jail. But technically, the way that is actually by the Constitution is I must go see a judge, a district judge, right? Where my constitutional rights are. Because I have zero constitutional rights in the magistrate. It's because it's a corporate body. It's for corporations. All right? They're claiming you are part of a corporation. And in silence acquiescence, tacit agreeing to their terms, you're saying, yep, I'm a person. Okay? I'm a resident. You know? Anyway, let's go a little further down. But that's where I believe that you can get remedy and actually get the lower courts, right, removed. Now, that being said, I haven't tried it. I don't know how that works. Okay. You know, of course, the magistrates and all that can do appeals and all that. But since we're on here, that is where I'm led to believe where you can kind of get remedy and actually have the lower judges, the administrative judges, to be impeached. Okay? Because what you do is when you file a judicial complaint, other judges and attorney is going to look at it, which is conflict of interest, because they're all in cahoots with them, you know, they're all bar members. So, and, side note, if you can help it, wiggle yourself in a political movement, right? Okay. For instance, magistrate here is maybe a Republican, all right? Well, you want to go ask the House to investigate with the Democrats, right? Because they're trying to get votes. This is the stupid games they play. All right? And the same thing with your attorney general if you want to try to get him impeached or her impeached, right? You start off with your local representatives, but you may want to show your documents what this attorney general has done wrong and go to the Democratic side and say, hey, look, I got this list here. I want him impeached. Well, they will oversee that, right? I mean, they got inside interests voting people all the time. They play these stupid games. But we, the people, don't know how to play these stupid games. Well, this is what they do. This is what we can do. I don't like doing it that way because I want to be a man of honor. You know, but it's one of them situations, right? But since I'm down here, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go up a little bit. Have you read that. Okay, if you find it on your computer, always put it on here, connect to there. Okay. There you go. Tie. There's section 9. Right? A. And then you got B. Right? Now, that being said, some of these things have been added to, right? Appealed and amended. Okay? But there is actually a process, and I had to double check, but yeah, I did do a video on that, I believe. Jeez. Did too much research. But I believe I did a video on the trick that they do to make a law that's not a law, right? Because technically, if you guys sit and think about it, 90% of our laws that they're passing has actually never been passed. That is state and federal, by the way, because they're not doing the simple process of doing such thing. And yes, I remember now I did do a video on that. So check out that video. It's been a couple videos back. Okay? Don't remember what I called it. So anyway, just check that out. All right. Hopefully some of you guys learned something. But you guys go into your state constitution, and that's where you can probably find your little loophole on the magistrate. Because if your state is just like mine, then it's going to talk about judges. Well, magistrates are not judges; they're overpriced clerks. Okay, so and again, these lower courts, you have zero rights because they're for the corporate body. They're for McDonald's, and officers getting in a fight with another officer. Well, they have jurisdiction over that matter. Okay. But magistrates, the lower courts that they always put us in, never, ever have subject matter jurisdiction. They may have personal jurisdiction, but they never have both. And they never have subject matter jurisdiction. Okay? That being said, there you go. This will be the People News. Check your own Constitution. If you want to try to proceed forward and, if you get a couple of buddies out there, more power to you. How to file paperwork, I have not gotten that far yet because I have not actually, here lately, had a crooked judge. Right? That was way back before. And when I started doing all my research and studies and my videos and all that, well, now we're trying to figure out, just kind of like I told that magistrate, well, I'm going to learn why I don't have a constitutional right and why I was innocent and you still found me guilty. And it's never going to happen again. Right? So, anyway, that kind of just started off my little rant and rave on what I do today. Okay? But there we go. This will be the People News. Bye, y'all.